Good morning, guys. John the Firearms Instructor, and today is the big day. Today is the day that we go get our permit from our hunting lease, and we're going to do some scouting. So come along with me on my journey back to the woods. I'll see you in a little while. We got about an hour and a half trip. After that, I'll take you right into the woods with me. We'll see you guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it's John. We're in the woods. We've made it here, and we are going to take our first little walk here. We're back in an oak hammock, sand scrub and oak hammock thing. I just want to see a little bit of what's out here. I don't know. I've seen like 5 or 6 flags from last year. That doesn't make me feel very comfortable. That I want to find a place that's more so secluded. Coming in here, it's a sandy road. There was a bunch of deer tracks. I may physically go back and be closer to the road. I think people are going to come through here and pass those stuff up front there, thinking there'd be no reason to stop there when you have these big hammocks that should be holding some water. So we've got a couple trails going back into a very thick area, and I think that, and I think that might hold some deer that want to get up in the middle of the night or the middle of the day and come this way. So come with me in my journey as we see if we can find a couple deer or some rubs or a scrape or something like that. I'll check back in a few minutes. Look at all that. Looks like it's hog rooting all over the place. Mostly deer and hog don't hang out together, but there's surely some lot of rooting there. Okay, guys, we've made our way into this first head. Let me get the camera. Made our way into this first oak head. I'm gonna skirt the edge real quick and see if I can find any rubs. You kind of look right there. There's an old flag from last year or 2 years ago. I don't know. We're trying to hunt deer, but we don't want to hunt people. The more sign you see, the more you want to get the heck out of here. But let's go ahead and step in here a little bit. These are all what we call sand oaks. They have the hanging moss. These aren't the favorite of the eating of the acorns. The deer don't like them as much. But there might be enough thickness here to hold does, or maybe a buck or two. So I'm gonna slip in, because on the back side of this, and I'll show you this in a picture right here, the back side of this is a swamp and a beautiful green field. The prettier the spot is, the less likely you should hunt it. But I'll be right back. Hey guys, looks like we found our first rub. It doesn't look like it was too old. It's still got sap in it. This is a faint trail going this way. It's got the sap. And back behind us is the big oak trees. No acorns dropping right now, so it's kind of be good to find one of those with that. But later in the season, it might work. All right, I'll be back. Here's another one. And it's going out to the field. So if you look over here, this is the swamp edge. There's little trails in and out of all the palmettos. And I think you can see, kind of make it out, that one right there. I think I'm gonna walk the edge back to that and see if there's any trails on the outside of that. Good spot, maybe. But there's a lot of, I saw a bunch of boot tracks coming in. I just don't know, man. Let's head out and try another spot. This right here, folks, is gallberries. Deer will eat these. They will browse on them. They're getting pretty good there. They'll just drop by and nibble, nibble, nibble. I don't see any, haven't seen much deer tracks, but the ground's kind of hard. But there's a bunch of these. And I think if a deer's hungry, they'll definitely eat it. We'll come to the field edge, and there are tracks going all over this thing. This looks like that one there. Wait, let me see if I can get into it. That one there looks like a nice buck track. It's bigger than the other ones. Goes back here. Let's see if I can find a doe track for you real quick and show you. Yeah, there's a doe track there. Oh, here we go. There's a good. There's a little doe track there. I'm gonna follow it up around. I'm gonna follow it up around the head here, this white area, all the way around to the road, and then see what's here. I'll be back. A little bigger track there. A little bigger track there. So this is pretty cool. Look at the sprouts. Look at the nibbles off this, where the deer have been coming in and just eating the leaves. This oak tree has a lot of rooting underneath it for hogs and stuff like that. This is a big, probably football field long and 2 football fields wide water area here. And physically what happens is these trees and these trees, those are cypress, so they're in the water. But this whole edge right here is nothing but security for a deer. So let's just say you pick one of these pine trees in here and they're walking this edge because they want to be able to escape if they have to. So ideally they can jump here, and technically they could bed in that stuff as well. I don't know if they'd bed in the middle of the daytime, but if you think about when it's really cold, which what's that, 2 days in Florida, these guys can physically get in there and warm up a little bit. I still haven't found any oaks yet, oak trees that have acorns. This one here is big. It's probably 50 feet tall, but I see no acorns at all. I don't even see them started yet. So it's kind of unusual. All right, we'll be back. All right. Don't know if you can see it, but there's that trail going right through there. Let's see if I can get it back just a little bit. There's a trail running right down that edge, going underneath those pine trees as it wraps around. Interesting. All right, guys, back to the truck. Woo-hoo. It's a hot one out there. What do I take of this spot? I think that's missing a few things. We didn't have a lot of deer sign. Around that field I showed you, there was some sign, but it doesn't look like it's that newish. Secondary, there wasn't a lot of, it would be nice to find some food of some kind, and I only saw 2 rubs. And I don't know if they were that one had sap in it, but the other one was old, and they're like my finger or a little smaller. The one pine tree I showed you a picture of, it was a little bigger, but I don't know. We're gonna keep looking. I've got a few more spots that I use the computer online maps to see. I am gonna try the front up here. I think if I get closer to the road, I may not have as much traffic. While I was back there, I did see some ribbons. So I don't expect to find a place empty. And the average hunter's gonna be from just at daylight to about 10 o'clock. You start staying after 10, mid-afternoon, deer start getting smart, and that's when they start moving. So tip. If you only have a few hours to hunt, sleep in and show up about 10 o'clock and get to the stand and hunt till about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Obviously those mid hours are when deer realize the hunters, we're trying to scout them. They've already scouted us for years, and they know that we go to camp and we sit around camp telling stories, and then about 4 o'clock or so we go back to the woods. So that's when they're going to be moving, right? So mid-afternoon hunts are where they're at. You may not like the heat, and you need to dress appropriately, and maybe pick that right tree stand that's more in the shade, but in the afternoon could be a good opportunity for you. So follow me, we'll go to the next place. So moving up front, there's a bunch of white oaks here. Now none of them are acorn ready, but it's in the middle of maybe during the fall. They've got a little bit of stuff on them, but there ain't enough I'm hoping I can find ones dropping. But this is right off the road, and I guarantee you most people aren't going to come here due to the fact that it's right off the road. And then most likely the deer will be here due to the fact that it's right off the road. So I'm going to walk back a little further. But that's an oak. That's a white oak leaf right there, which is pretty cool. Very neat. All right, I'll check back. Okay, guys, a little thicker. We're in a swampy edge. This creek runs down. The corner. There's big oak trees on both sides. That right there is historical rub. Doesn't look like it was rubbed much this year yet, but it looks like something they're hitting. If you pay attention, look right there. There's a little hole that the deer can come through, skirt the edge of the swamp, hit this rub here, and then if you look here, there's one in there, and there's one right there. So maybe I'll be back to some acorns. Nothing on the ground. Probably a couple weeks. Right at archery season might be good. All right, check that. Okay, this is a rub. It's going to and from. There's greens and oaks. So there's that pine tree right there for a tree stand. Not a bad tree stand to have. There is a couple of these. There's a cabbage palm around the corner, and it looks like this might be the spot for one of the cameras. Behind way over here is a swamp with palmetto heads, and then back behind me is palmetto heads. So I haven't found much of the food, like acorns and stuff, but underneath the trees is all scratched up. So definitely something's been in here eating. So I think I'm gonna put the camera, one of our cell cameras in here, And then I gotta find one more spot. Whew, it is hot out here today. But I think I'm going to, I think this might be a good spot. All right, well, I'll be back once I set the camera up. Let's see when it disappears. Got that camouflaged in pretty well, I think. Cool. Okay, you want to see some majestic shit? I want you to look at this oak tree behind me. Look at that. It lays down. It's tall. It's over. Holy shit. I can't even tell you how big it is. That's the craziest thing. And this is a little high flat. All around us is wet. This is drier. Drier. Is that a word? It's starting to sprinkle a little bit. I'm just slipping through here to see if I can find anything. Found a dead cow. If I put a stand here, it's gonna be called the dead cow stand. There's some big old bunch of hog rooting. I'm gonna slip in a little deeper. Then there's a field edge right here. I'm gonna slide across that field edge, and there's another oak hammock on the other side. I'm probably gonna put the camera on that one there. It's been a hot day. I'm starting to cramp up a little bit. I'm drinking water and a Gatorade, and hot. Good thing I've been walking since July. I wouldn't have been able to do this. I've been walking 3 miles a day. And of course that's on flat ground. And this ain't flat ground. Come along with the journey with me while we figure this thing out. I'll be back. Okay, we're on to something here. Look at that trail. Look at that trail. Goes into that oak hammock over there. I'm gonna slip in there and see what we can find. All right, I'll be back. Something's whipping that up. Barely got any bark on it. It's all the way up top, all the way to the bottom. No bigger than my finger though. It doesn't mean anything really, but sometimes our big bucks don't rub small trees, but sometimes they do. All right, I'll be back. All right, you hog hunters, can you tell me what that is? Looks like old big boy there. Oh, that's high too. He's cutting his cutters on that thing. 18 inches or better. Let's see if I can get underneath it. 18 inches or better. The hog track all in the mud here. He's cutting that pretty good with his cutters. And look at the sap running down. I may have found my hogs that want to go shoot a hog and nowhere to come. Don't know if that trail was a hog though. They normally will walk in a, not so much in a straight line because they want to get to the food first. But we'll keep walking. All right, this right here is the second spot. There's an oak hammock over here. This is a green field. This is grass. And big oak tree right here. Looks like there's a trail coming right here. There's a trail going right there. There's one coming here. And there's one here. And the last one is here. They're all circling into here. I don't know if you can see it, But there's my camera. And check this tree out. Doesn't have acorns on it right now, but it looks like they're gonna have some, which is cool. And look at this. This sports, the oak tree can cover my back. And these pine trees we can climb for the tree stand shots. Very cool. Very cool. All right, well, I'll be back. I'm going to the car. FYI, fire ants hurt. Putting in that camera. They lit me up, man. Got a pair of shorts there and they were going close to the boys. I had to get them off me. Had them on my boots, had them all over. Thought I was going to have to do the naked dance here for a second or two. But I got the spray out and it got them pretty good. But I feel it's still crawling on me. So, all right, I'll see you at the car. That's bigger than my forearm. It's on both sides, going to and from. That's a nice rub on that trail, right? Going right in that hammock. Welcome to hunting in Florida. You're gonna get your feet wet sometimes. If you want to go where the big boys are. All right. I'm going through this fence. It's dry on the other side. Whew. It is hot. All right, guys. I'll see you in a little bit.